Have you ever stopped to consider what is actually motivating you? What is the motivating factor, this underlying factor that enables you to get up in the morning and brush your teeth, go for that brisk walk, choose gratefulness over excuses? Knowing our motivation is crucial. Knowing what motivates us, it's so important. Because if we know what motivates us, then we know exactly what we need to be fueling on a day-to-day basis. The deal is, your motivation and my motivation may be totally different. We both may want to experience exceptional health. I hope so. Otherwise, I don't think you'd be watching this if you didn't. But why we want to experience that health could be totally different. For instance, I have a lot of athletes I work with, a lot of them in the CrossFit community, many of which who want to be the fittest people on the earth. They want to go to the CrossFit Games and compete there. So their motivation to go to the gym, multiple times a day, to eat wholesome foods, to potentially count calories and their macronutrients and be very specific about their diets, get great sleep, listen to positive self-talk and do that kind of stuff. Their motivation for that is to make it to the CrossFit Games, to be considered the fittest on earth. However, my motivation for going to the gym regularly, eating whole foods, positive self-talk, reading things that are uplifting and motivating and challenging, getting adequate sleep, my motivation for doing all that is not to go to the CrossFit Games. My motivation for staying in great fitness is so that I can be an awesome example for my wife, my kids, my patients, so they can see that I'm just a regular person, but I'm taking the time to create fitness, to eat whole foods, to be an example that it actually is possible. And I want to experience, another motivating factor for me to be regular in the gym is I love experiencing energy and vitality and this feeling of strength that I have by being in the gym really, really regularly. As well as the fact that when I get older, I want to still be able to play with my kids, with my grandkids, and that motivates me. That is a motivating factor to be able to experience super high energy, vital life, outrageous health, even into my older years. Because unfortunately, all of us will get older. We can't stop aging, but we can definitely slow it down, and we can make our aging experience unlike anybody else's, especially the people you see around you. Many times who are seemingly aging very, very fast, we can have a totally different experience. The thing is, if I keep my motivations before me, the motivation to have a sharp, quick, creative mind so that I can sit before a patient and give them the most efficient treatment plan possible, if I keep that motivation, that's a driving force for me, then it's gonna be easy for me to show up at the gym when I'm a little tired, or it's gonna be easy for me to make decisions throughout the day that are loaded with good food and living food and colors. It's gonna be easy for me because I know my motivation, my desire, my goal, my impetus for doing these things, because I want to be able to sit here and be like, boom, this is what we need to do, boom, this is what we need to do. And it be something that truly impacts the patient as quickly and as efficiently as possible. If I forget those motivations, if I don't know what's motivating me, if I don't understand, why I'm even sitting here, the patient's sitting there, why I would spend extra hours researching for this particular patient, or spend time in the gym right after I see patients so that I can go home and be energized and vital so I can play with my kids. If I don't know why I'm doing that or what's motivating me to do that, then I'm probably gonna just a little down today. I'd kind of rather go home and watch TV. Or you know what? I think I'll just stop at Burger King and get something instead of going home and eating food or making a meal up then. Or maybe I'll drink a soda pop instead of drinking water today. We can get way off course if we don't know what's our motivation is and allowing that to help us make the decision we really truly want to make. So our motivation for maintaining exceptional fitness, for overcoming disease, for reaching our highest genetic potential, our motivations don't have to be the same. So you don't need to take on my motivations. In fact, if you're finding that you can't quite figure out why you're doing what you're doing, you may consider, where am I actually getting this motivation from? Is it Dr. Matt? Is he the one that's created? Is he the one that's kind of forcing me to have this particular motivation for why I'm doing what I'm doing? Is it your friends? Is it personalities on TV, magazines? What is your actual motivation? Because if it isn't actually your true motivation for why you're doing what you're doing, then it's not going to last, and you're not going to be fulfilled when you actually reach the state you want to reach to. In fact, you're not going to reach that state of abundant health because it takes a lot of work, and it's super challenging to maintain a healthy lifestyle in this world we live in if we're working off of somebody else's motivation or somebody else's desires and dreams and goals. So maybe your driving force, your motivation for creating this awesome health story is so that you can get on an airplane, have the energy to go travel to another country or another state and see your children. Maybe your driving motivation is that so you have the mental clarity during the day and the stamina to take care of your 3 kids and maybe take them through homeschool. Maybe your motivation for exceptional health is that so that you can live to 100 years old. Maybe your driving force is to be free of medications, free of doctor's visits. You don't want to spend your life doing something that is completely unfulfilling, like sitting in a doctor's office, being told you have this disease or that disease, or you need to go to Rite Aid and Walgreens and pick up your next prescription. Maybe you don't want that to be part of your health story. So your motivation, the reason you're getting up and going for those walks, the reason you're grabbing that apple, the reason you're getting more brassicaceae family vegetables into you is because you do not want to have medications, doctor visits be the last 20 years of your life. You want to experience fulfillment. You want to be playing with your grandkids. You want to be traveling. You want to be still sharp and able to add value to the community you're in. Maybe your driving force is that you want to have children. Maybe you've suffered with infertility. So your driving force is that, hey, I'm going to make these decisions day after day, week after week, month after month, because I want to create the greatest opportunity for me to have healthy children. I would suggest that in order to create and maintain motivation for your health story, it needs to probably go beyond simple external things, such as the size of your rear, or the size of your breasts, or your fingernails, or your skin tone, or the thickness of your hair. These external things that don't carry a lasting value to them. There's nothing wrong with you wanting your body to look a certain way or having certain contours, or that's completely fine. In fact, I think it's normal. I want my body to look a certain way. But if we allow that to be the driving force for us, if we look back at what is our true motivation, you're like, my true motivation is to just have bigger arms. One, I would say, okay, that you can get bigger arms without being healthy at all. There's plenty of ways to get bigger arms. You can take steroids and do some biceps and triceps, and you'd get bigger arms. So strongly consider making or checking your motivations. And if your motivations are very externally generated, then I would look and see, okay, what do I really want? Because deep down, all of us really, 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 really want something when it comes to our health and our life and our longevity. So figure out what that is. Once again, I'm just saying, strongly consider what is your true motivation and why that motivation is present. Is it present because of stuff we've read in magazines, seen on TV, our friends are talking about, or is it actually a motivation that's going to lead to lasting, vital, vibrant health, where you look back a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and you're like, I'm so glad I made that decision. I'm so glad I put up those guardrails in my life. I'm so glad that I took this on as my true motivation. The reason or motivation for us to go full bore after habit changes, new goals, a health story that is full of vitality and vigor, those motivations must be greater or more weighty than the circumstances around us and the external and internal stimuli that would cause us to go different directions. So that is why it's so important for us to have motivation or a reason that is for real. That's not just fabricated or not just found in a magazine on how to make your six-pack pop more or your butt bigger. We need things that are truly have grounding to them, so that our health story really will be the health story we want. The thing is, living in a state of vitality, high energy, optimal sleep, just feeling like we're in control of life and how we're manifesting in life, that is extremely challenging. It's not easy. There's nothing easy about it. If it was easy, we would all set our New Year's resolutions. We would all meet our New Year's resolutions, and each year we could create an entirely new resolution because we met our goals from the previous year. So there's nothing easy about it. If it was easy, of course, everybody would be doing it. So if we have a motivation that is strong, that is solid, then the likelihood of us being able to keep pursuing our health story that we desire is very, very high, because it's going to be challenging. There's no way around it. But we can do it. It's doable. Plenty of people are doing it. And the beautiful thing is, you're still watching this. So if you're still watching this means that you are highly motivated and that you have this great internal desire to have a health story that truly exudes health and vitality and vibrance and overcoming disease and dysfunction. I just want to end this week's video by just reminding us that how tomorrow manifests for us and how we feel today is a direct reflection on the hundreds of micro decisions and little bitty habits that we have and that we're acting out today. So if we want tomorrow to be awesome and experience a today that is right in line with the health story we want, then we are required to make really solid micro habits each and every day to get there.